Okay, that works. Got a weird app on my phone here to control my GoPro. I think I've told you guys about this before. Anyway, so I'm sitting here tonight trying to enjoy a show with the Wild and Hairy Fun Club. That's the kitties. That's my cats, Lucius and Pantera. I don't really want to move the camera around because I'll have to reframe it. Well, why not? Let's look at the kitties real quick. Nope, never mind. Nope. I have a terrible tripod. It doesn't. Well, it's not bad, but like the head doesn't work properly. It doesn't swing the way I want it to. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to like this. There's Pantera sleeping on the couch. And there's Mr. Lucius. I hope you guys can see this because I have no way of framing it up. Oh, yeah, I do actually. My phone app. It's super dark though. Okay. See, not the cats. Here's me. Really gotta get the whole back screen for this thing. It's super, not great. It's not good times. Let's see, am I in frame? I am. Nice. Okay, so, we've been trying to watch The Magicians. Me and the kitties. And, it's just not very good. I'm not... I was kind of excited for this show, like, the previews for it looked awesome. Kind of reminded me of Lost Girl a little bit, and I really liked like the first maybe 2 seasons of that were fucking amazing. Cine Solo, hot as hell. that's mostly her thing, but yeah, man, The Magicians is not great. It's like I was so excited for it too. Like the trailers made it look awesome. It looked like I don't know, sexy American wizard grad school. Like kind of like Hogwarts, but with like people who are hot, right, and going to college. But yeah, and like that's kind of what it is. But I have such a hard time fucking getting their shit together with just the show itself, like the plot and everything like that. Sorry if I'm fucking rambling and being weird. I'm super tired. I just watched 4 episodes of the shitty show. Like, Sci-Fi has the first 4 on their website if you really, really want to check it out and you don't have cable or you don't want to steal it or whatever. Oh, man. But, take this as an I watched it so you don't have to kind of a thing. It's not great. Oh, fuck. Okay, so it starts out, right? There's this guy, and he's like at a psychiatrist's office or whatever, and he's gonna graduate college, and he's gonna go to Yale or whatever, and he's a little worried about the entrance exams, and super annoying, right? Just the character himself is fucking terrible. Because, this main, character that we all have to follow around. Because, I don't know, he's just some floppy-haired douchebag with a messenger bag. And, just those knit V-neck shirts, that's all he wears, those formless knit V-neck shirts. And, he's just an absolute douche. The whole first half an hour of this, the first episode of this show, it's just him running around kind of just being boring, you know what I mean? He's just like one of those boring guys who's like, ooh, I'm a quirky intellectual. There's a weird loud hipster party going on in his house that he lives in, and he's hiding out in the bedroom and reading a book because people who read books are somehow special, Super bad news. Oh my god, it's terrible. And then he's got a friend, and there's this chick also that he grew up with, and he's kind of they're just kind of a thing, but not really. And yeah, so they're into this book together. They're into this book that's similar to Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe a little bit. It's about people who go through grandfather clocks in a magical world of witches, and weird shit. But and that's kind of a device like within the show, but they don't use it hardly enough. Because like next scene, right? There's they're walking down the street and like he's going to like his little entrance exams or whatever, and they end up going to like wizard entrance exams instead, like at the wizard college. That like they go, they go there, and like kind of not realizing they're gonna go there, because I guess like, they're doing like Harry Potter style shit where like some people just can do magic, like they're just kind of born with it or whatever, and like then they get to go to a special school, So they go to the wizard entry exams. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? The guy gets in and the chick doesn't, and that becomes like a big weird thing later on, because like he gets in and just bails on all his like normal relationships like pretty much instantly with like regular people who don't do magic and shit, and he's just hanging around like this school from then on, and yeah, man. And like his little friend or whatever, because like if you fail the test, like they wipe your memory or what, they do like the fucking that charm from Harry Potter pretty much. There's a whole lot of similarity between this and like the Harry Potter books, like a lot. It's just kind of, but not like exactly right. It's just kind of like they feel like real heavily inspired, but with sexy American college kids instead of tiny little British kids. Oh man, but yeah, like so they wipe your memory with the fucking, is it Confundus in Harry Potter? I can't remember now. Oh, dude, the show just like sapped the life like right out of me, like, honestly. But I got to tell you about it so you don't watch it. Make no bones. This is bad news. Okay, so which one is it? That's not Confundus. I don't remember. You've all read those fucking books, but they wipe this chick's memory. They try to, right? She's like super smart about things, and she like cuts like a giant bleeding fucking line on her arm, like in the middle of this kind of like procedure they're doing. Somehow she has like a sharp ring or something. She's fucking does that, and some like then she like so she can remember what the fuck happened, kind of, like she has like the reminder that something weird happened. So yeah, like she figures out that like magic schools are a deal, that she didn't pass the entry exam, like through just kind of weird like internet searches and fucking like walking around and being depressed and like alienating her boyfriend and like just being a weirdo. And like she ends up going to like this other wizard school that's like intense and like in a fucking warehouse and everybody's all weird and shit. And like it's kind of like a wizard community college, but like they do they're just like in this fucking like warehouse, and they get these weird like tattoos on their arms that are super stupid looking. It's like a little star with like a keyhole in it. And like every time they do something cool, they get like a little tattoo, but it's fully dark mark. It's like the same arm. Yeah. And it's like their little identifying like thing, like, oh man, yeah. So she's doing that, and like those guys are, and the regular good wizard school guys who go to the fancy wizard school have like this rivalry, but it's not, none of it's like really clear or defined. Like the big problem with the show is the world building, right? Like, because like the fancy wizard school looks like a fucking regular college. Like they obviously shot it at like a regular college or like some kind of public building, with like fountains and fucking buildings where with like big glass doors and shit and like on the front, like so they're just hanging out like on these lawns and stuff and just walking around this campus, and it looks like a normal campus, except like everybody who goes there is like kind of vaguely weird, right? So but yeah, like that's one of the big problems. Is like they try to set up this conflict at the beginning. There's like two professors from fancy wizard college. They're like, we got to get people together to fight this like weird monster that's gonna turn up or whatever. And we got to train people up with fancy magic. But that's just like dropped after that. Like they just it's kind of like this vague kind of Last Starfighter kind of fucking thing going on where they're like recruiting people to fight this guy, kind of, but they're also just like doing normal everyday wizard school shit, I guess. Oh man, it's super bad. It's not good. And like they have like different like little schools of magic and shit like within, but like everybody has like a concentration like fucking grad school, but like it kind of turns into their Hogwarts house, you know, like they all like live together, like all these like they each have like a little building and shit they live in, and you know do their little things, and they have their own little culture, which is never touched on at all. There's like these guys do this kind of magic, and these guys do this kind of magic. There's one fun character in this whole fucking show. It's this one dude, the main character meets early on, and he's just this fucking like Oscar Wilde, like Edwardian dandy style fucking like wizard guy who like he does like some kind of, I don't even remember what the fuck kind of magic he does. I'm just a marathon this terrible show, and like I can't remember half the shit from it, but like you know he's awesome. That's a good character. I want the show to be about him, honestly. He's super fun to watch, like do things. Everyone else is just like an unrelenting just douchebag. It's real bad. Like if I want to see douchey people like have emotions, you can just go outside. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's real tough. It's tough to get through. Every episode is tough to get through. You know, like within the first one, even like the first episode, they fucking start doing like some spooky magic and shit because main character meets this blonde chick, you know, and she's she's like her whole family's like wizards or whatever, so you know that's another like weird Harry Potter thing. Like they got like the wizard culture, you know, where like the whole families do magic and shit, but like once again they don't fucking hit on it at all. They don't establish, you know, any kind of like any real continuity or anything. It's more about the characters who are all completely bland, right? So this girl's trying to like summon up shit with like this mirror and stuff and like this weird ceremony, and it starts to get cool, right? Like the whole show starts to get cool because there's like they're sneaking around and like there's weird, like this guy has like some fucking hallucination in the library about one of one of the characters from like his like weird book series that he likes, and you know ends up with this crazy thing on his hand and stuff, and you think it's picking up and it's getting awesome, but like at the same time it's all super bland because like the library falls asleep and it's like a college library. It's not like a wizard library, you know, like, and all the books are like that he's reading like they're like super like new age section at Barnes and Noble like books. They don't look like you could find any like real spooky like wizard shit in them. It's all about like crystals and like runes and shit like that. And he's like trying to study for his exams or whatever because like getting expelled is like a big deal. That's like the only like real peril that's hanging over the series. That's what it like, because that's another like bad thing about this is like nothing feels dangerous like it should. Like even like the first Harry Potter book, right? There's definitely like straight up attempted murder in that, and there's like weird monsters in the woods, and it's fucking powerful, you know. This is like, oh shit, don't fuck up, get caught doing like weird magic because we might get expelled. Oh no, you know, like, but you know, and they don't, obviously, you know what I mean. Like second episode, everything's all right, of course, you know, people just kind of whine at each other. They have a little wizard fight, but it's like seriously like maybe like a 4-second wizard fight. Like this dude does like some wizardry, shoots at some other guy, his asshole roommate, who's like psychic or whatever, and he kind of like shoots it back at him, and they just get hurt. But it's not bad though, you know. Like nothing feels like real urgent or dangerous in this whole show, even though like dangerous stuff happens. Like third episode, there's like a ghost like trying to drown people in a fountain or whatever. And then, like, once again, it starts, but okay, first episode starts to get cool, right? They try to summon this guy with, and they set up, like, this creepy ritual with, like, a little bowl that's, like, boiling shit, and they're, like, reflecting the whole thing with a mirror. And I'm like, yeah, awesome, you know? And then nothing happens at all, right? For a while, and then they're in class, and, like, a fucking, like, some dude comes in, like, with, like, an old-timey suit and, like, a head that's just made out of moths. And he starts fucking murdering people and like pulling eyeballs out. and shit. You know, and that, like, that's super fun. It starts out fun, you know? Or it ends fun, right? This is what I wanted out of the show the whole time, this creepy kind of shit, right? This kind of, like, way more intense, sexy Hogwarts. But, oh man, and they end it, and then it's like nothing happens. You know what I mean? It's like they just kind of like they introduced this thing that like feels like it's a big deal in the plot, and it's just kind of forgotten about. Whatever. Next episode, like people are like investigating what it was, and people are all mad that they like summoned like a monster. You know, because I guess you're fucking not supposed to summon monsters at wizard school. Who knew, right? But yeah. And like there's like some danger of getting expelled and shit, and that's like what everyone's fucking concerned about. You know, they're like, oh no, someone's gonna find out that we tried to fucking do weird magic and we summoned a monster. You know, and it's kind of a fucking big deal. But like, there's like an investigation and nothing happens, and the guy who gets his eyeballs pulled out is like fine. He's like hurt, like in the hospital, but he's not dead. Like his hands are all fucked up for some reason, because like he wizard fights this thing, I guess, and like part of their little magic thing is like they do all these crazy hand gestures. It's like kind of reminds me of that ninja stuff, you know, from you've all seen like ninja ass movies from the 80s, you know, when they do that shit. Like I can't remember what it's called, Kuji-in, I think, maybe, like yeah, you know, like that, and like ninja magic happens like shinobi style, but they're doing that shit, right? And like somehow the Moth Monster Man fucks his hands up, you know, but he's fine. Next episode, he's like hardly even hurt, you know, and yeah, and it just kind of goes on like that. It's like the show's fucking, it's got these moments that are fucking awesome, you know, Moth Monster Man pulling people's eyeballs out, you know, second episode drags. I don't think there's anything good in the second episode at all. Third episode, like there's like yeah, third episode's the ghost that like lives in a fountain or whatever. And the fountain's cool looking. It's got like the wolf from like Roman stuff, like the she wolf and like Romulus and Remus. You know, it's got that, and like some guy drowned in there, or he like died because of some magic that like went bad, and it's like a whole big weird like emotional thing, like trying to find like the lady who was like kind of semi-responsible, and it's like this blonde chick's brother, you know, and they like fuck around, and it's just kind of annoying though, like the way they portray it. It's just like it doesn't feel like good or like, you know, like it's any fun at all. But yeah, and then fourth episode, it's like the community college wizards. They call them hedge witches. I don't know why. You know, that's a word I guess people use. But they start fucking with like the main character, and he thinks he's back to being crazy and like interesting at the insane asylum. And you know, he's like stuck in this like dream state or whatever, that seems like it'd be really, really cool, but just like the way they portray it, oh god, it's not good at all. And they're doing all these, oh no, and then like they kind of try to like expose this rivalry between like people who use magic and don't go to the fancy school, and people who use magic and do go to the fancy school, but it just doesn't like matter, and it doesn't make any sense as to why they dislike each other, like why they're plotting, you know, because like the guys who don't go to fancy school are like plotting some shit, you know, but it's completely unclear, but not in a good way. Like none of the stuff that's vague or you know, just kind of like badly explained is in like a good way, you know what I mean? And they're not building tension or like making me care, you know. It's just like some like sexy people having emotions and kind of being mad at each other. That's like the whole show, man. Real bad. This whole show is real bad, except for the one guy. His character is awesome, and he portrays him well. I don't know, that I can't remember the name of the fucking character, or I think his name's Edgar. That makes sense. Or like I don't know who the fucking actor is, but he's awesome. He's good in it. Everyone else, fucking not great. That chick from Lost. One of the ladies from Lost is on it. Another show that I kind of hated. But like she feels out of her depth. She feels like she kind of walked in on this whole thing, and she doesn't exactly know how to like portray like a wizard professor lady, you know. So she's just kind of there, like almost like sleepwalking through the whole deal. And yeah, but you know, everyone's really sexy and they have a lot of emotions and they read books and they're interesting and they don't like parties. But you know, that's pretty much the whole thing. And they kind of do magic. Like the first episode, they're trying to like maybe build a little bit of fantasy like within this whole thing. So they're it's Edwardian dandy guy and the fucking floppy haired messenger bag, the fucking main character like walking around and he's like trying to explain like all the different like kinds of magic there are and shit, and like all they're doing is like walking through these like this field and like there's just some guys doing like these dubstep dance moves, you know, like you guys remember those dubstep videos from a long time ago? People like doing weird like pop and lock shit with their hands and freaking out and like moving around all strange. It's like guys doing that on the lawn, like they're playing hacky sack with like these weird little kind of like CGI like things happening around their hands, and like I don't know, they're acting like it's all super impressive, but it's like whatever. And like they walk past some like psychic guys and they have like a little mind conversation with them, but it's not very good. They look like mall goths and they're just kind of hanging out, just being bitchy. And then the guy, fucking the like Edwardian dandy guy, I think his name's Edgar. Man, the show is just not very memorable. But he like walks by those guys and he's explaining how fucking ridiculous they are. And there's two people who are super bummed out walking around, and they're I guess like everyone in their class, like it's super dangerous to go there because like a lot of people actually die of accidents or like get eaten by monsters or killed somehow. And like these two fucking like guys who are in like their fourth year like walk by and they just look terrible and they've got backpacks on, and they're you know, like they're like the survivors of like that year. Right? They've like gone on that long, but nobody seems to, you know, care, and you never actually see any dangerous shit happen. You know, you hardly even see like any like wizard classes like that they're taking. There's one like introductory like wizard seminar or whatever, where some lady makes the blonde lady makes like a little glass horse like do a thing, and then like later on they're talking about like herbalism or something, and like then Moth Monster Man walks in and fucking kills the professor with like he just kind of does the Darth Vader strangly thing with his fingers. He's just like and the guy just fucking collapses. It's not like particularly gruesome. Then he does pull that guy's eyes out, which is awesome. But you know, too little. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm not enchanted by the fucking magicians. It's just not great. I would avoid this one. You know, just watch a different, cooler show. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'm done. Wild and Hairy Fun Club. Okay. Well, I guess it's based on a book. Didn't know that. But, yeah. So, I mean, that could explain, like, a couple of the problems in the kitchen making rice now. And I just, like, discovered that. But, like, yeah, so I guess this is based on a book, or, like, a series of books that I haven't read. Probably don't intend to. So, the books might be better. I don't know, but, that does probably explain some of the problems with it, as it's an adaptation, so it's kind of coming in with, like, a built-in audience, maybe, in mind, who, like, know about, like, the conflicts and shit going on in, like, the world, and, you know, like, a little bit more about, like, the magicians, like, wizard culture and whatever the fuck is going on with their school and shit, and their little rivalry with Wizard Community College, Wizard Warehouse, Meat Locker Community College, right? So, yeah, man, I guess, but I'm not wrong. It's still a bad show. You know, it's just, I can kind of see why it's bad now. It's not, You know, not so much. It's bad because they wrote a bad show, but it's bad because they're adapting something that I haven't read. You know, so if you haven't read the books, you're probably gonna hate the show, and if you have read the books, you might hate the show. I don't know. I haven't read I haven't read the books, but you know, it might make more sense though. Like, you might have like a greater sense of like the larger continuity of like what the fuck is going on in the Magicians. Yeah, but okay. So that's my little addendum at the end there, just in case. You know, I should have looked that up beforehand, and I do apologize. But you know, I wanted to shoot that out before I forgot absolutely everything about what was fucking going on that show because it's boring. It's so boring. All the characters are boring, except for that Oscar Wilde motherfucker. He's pretty cool, and I don't know. Like the community college wizards are all right, but they're super gritty, like on purpose. They're like, we hang out in a warehouse, ooh gritty. You know, we didn't get in. You know, ugh, I don't care. You know? Fuck off. Just like, you know, and they're all like that, so they're all pretty much one character. You know, and then this guy's friend, who's kind of her own thing, but you know, she's a bit more interesting than the fucking main character, honestly, because like she didn't get in, and she has like some kind of conflict. She has like some kind of like weird shit to resolve. But yeah, so it's a bad show. Don't fuck with it. Unless you're like a fan of the books. But even then, you should probably not fuck with it because you'll probably hate it. Yeah. I would imagine. Okay. So now I'm really done. Alright. My rice is done too. Nice.